Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Erin Chronicle. My name is Erin and I'm so excited to see you guys back. Today we're going to be discussing the Dior Cruise collection from 2021 or for 2021. So if you guys are interested in this kind of video, we're going to go behind the inspiration, a reaction to the actual collection, and my review of the looks. If any of that interests you, be sure to like and subscribe right down below so that you can keep up with us every single week. Okay, let's get into it. So our first question, or I guess matter of business, is what is a cruise collection? Seems like an easy enough question, but let's ask the Google here. I have my notes here, so if I'm looking down at my pro, you will know what I'm looking at. Also, if you hear something in the background, it's the cat. It's Miss Meow Meow. She's decided today is an excellent day to play. Okay, so back to the question. What is a cruise collection? It is for, generally speaking, for wealthy jet setters who would vacation in places like the Americas, Europe, the Mediterranean, Dubai, Indonesia, and they generally buy this collection after they've already previewed the fall collection and they're looking for warmer weather. So that's when they start looking at this particular collection. Generally speaking, it will be in boutiques around November, December time, just about that time that you're wanting to start looking at a vacation. Generally speaking, the fabrics in this type of collection are going to be breezy, wearable, breathable fabrics with nautical themes, and they'll also feature bathing suits and cover-ups. I've seen Chanel collections where they do towels, surfboards, beach bags, utilize things that you can utilize on your vacation. And it will be shown in places, generally speaking, that in Cuba or places where people like to go on vacation is generally where they do these collections, show them in, or that's where they get their inspiration from. Originally speaking, women were the only ones that this type of collection was designed for. But about 10 plus years ago, she loves my skirt. So about 10 plus years ago, they did decide to start designing for men. So now, gentlemen, you can have your own cruise collection as well. Now that we've defined what a cruise collection is and some things for us to be looking at, let's talk about this particular collection. It was live streamed on YouTube. We're still dealing with the big Rona. So it was, instead of the traditional audience, it was live streamed on YouTube. So let's get into talking about some of the inspiration that we might see as we start looking at this collection. As in the previous Dior Haute Couture collection, I'll put a link to that particular video in the description box below. This collection as well was designed by Maria Grazia, and what's interesting is she got inspiration from this particular region of Italy because her father is from this area, and it's the region of Puglia. And she showed the collection in Lecce, Italy. Again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I will put the actual words right down here. But she used this area to kind of redefine the Miss Dior ideas, motifs, collections, but still in that same framework. They reinvented the Miss Dior motif specifically when it came to their use of flowers. Now, as we have learned a few videos back, Dior was highly wanted to design things for his sister, who was really into flowers and horticulture. So you can see that flower motif going through each of his collections. So they used that same idea of flowers, but it now has kind of Italian countryside feel to it with things like poppies and ears of corn, just to name a few. What's interesting is what they decided to do was, instead of doing the French style gardens, which is what you would see in where Dior, Mr. Dior, was inspired by the French gardens, as you can take an example of Versailles, very symmetrical, hedges are perfect, to the Italian countryside with a little bit more flow and ebb to it. Something that I thought was interesting was they sought to bring country life to modern day life. And the one way that they did this was the use of Tombolo Lace. Now, this lace in particular is specific to this region. This particular type of lace is only taught and used by one particular artisan, and she teaches at a particular factory that Dior sought to work with. Now, we can see this particular lace in some of the tops that we'll be talking about. They also use some more of this ancient fabric techniques that are local to the area in their jacket collections. Another interesting thing that we're going to see, we might not see it in the fashion show, but if you go to the Dior website and you start looking at other parts of this collection, one of the things that they decided to do was partner with local artisans and design plates. And these plates are going to have tarot themes painted on them. What I found was interesting was that Mr. Dior became very interested in tarot and the occult. This stems from his sister went missing during World War II. And during this unknown period of time, he sought answers to his questions. So this is what he turned to. So taking that inspiration, they decided to do a series of plates. Now, like I said, the town of Lecce was chosen to host this particular fashion show. And I found it interesting in the video that they showed the town in and feature it in, they interviewed the local bishop. And he said, people might find it weird that we're hosting a fashion show so close to the church. His direct quote is saying that during this time of uncertainty, that it is important that people go back and remember culture. I told you. She came for a visit. Say, hello, what you doing? Yeah. That it's important for us to still immerse ourselves with beauty and culture to nourish the soul. So he felt that it was actually very appropriate that they would have this collection so close to the church. Now, as we get into it, you're going to notice that they're going to have dancers and folk music. Now, this particular type of dance and music, generally speaking, on the normal years, they have a music festival that this is what it displays, is this type of music. Now, when we look at this dance type, it's going to be a very erratic, kind of all over the place seeming dance. It's on purpose. So this particular dance is based on a folk dance that they believe that when you were bitten by a tarantula, that you were actually possessed by a demon. So naturally, we need to perform an exorcism. So they did this exorcism by getting tambourines and performing this erratic dance to get rid of the venom and get rid of the demon. So, hence why it looks the way it does. So, we've discussed the designs, a little bit about the fabric. We've talked about the dance and music. Now we're going to be discussing something that you're going to notice, and that is the backdrop, which is breathtaking. So this is called Light of the Luminary de Cognac. This art style was created by Cesare di Cagna and his sons. The local business is from southern France. Southern Italy. They highlight the aesthetics of the architectural structures, the statue, and other elements that the lights are around. The lights simply enhance the beauty that it's already around. This particular business was started in 1930, and they started with oil lamps. Then in 1980, in 1965, that's when they switched to using electricity. And then starting in 2006, they transitioned over to using LEDs. Now, when you see these displays, you're going to be thinking to yourself, or at least I thought to myself, man, there is a lot of electricity for all of those light bulbs. Now, they don't do it just for the fashion show. They've done it for music festivals, holidays. They've displayed them all over the world. So how much electricity do these bulbs use? Now, this is a quote from their website. 55,000 LEDs consume only 20 kilowatts of electricity per hour. And this is compared to a 60-watt light bulb, and it consumes 0.06 kilowatts of electricity per hour. Therefore, using a 60-watt light bulb for 1,000 hours will consume 60 kilowatts of electricity. So, using LEDs, I guess it's a good life lesson for all of us, switching over to LEDs really does help save electricity. Now, going through and reading the comments on Dior's Instagram page about the town, it was really interesting. Comment section always are going to tell you something. But so many locals from the town came on and were thanking them for displaying their town, showing their heritage, showing their architectural history, and really bringing to light the different types of fabrics that are so well known for this area. So I think Maria Grazia's passion and idea to connect the past with the present while being respectful of the region really came through with this particular fashion show. I was very pleased to see that it was so warmly welcomed in the community, and I would definitely say that this particular area of Italy is now on my bucket list. So those are a few of my notes going into it. So we're going to get into watching the video, and as before, it will be at 2 times speed. So if you would like to see the original at the regular speed, I'll put the link down below. Okay, so let's get into it. When we first look at the screen, we're going to see it's just pitch black. We're going to be able to see a few of these dancers here, and then before we know it, the tamborine's going to start, and bam, we're going to have this whole world of light. So let's get into it. Tambourines are going, and we're getting close. We see some of the words. Oh, here they come. So this first look is this full black dress that goes all the way to the floor, and the embroidery is to look like wheat or ears of corn. So we still have that kind of pastoral feel that they're going for this country living aspect. Some of the other things that we're going to notice is they have lots of boots, which I feel has that country feel to it. Also, the traditional head scarves that you would see on the folk side of Italian culture. See the boots, we have the head scarf. See some of that lace that we had talked about, and a lot of how the dresses or looks have fringe at the bottom too. So I love this. I guess we could call it a shorts suit. I love a suit with shorts. But right here we have a really good angle of this beautiful fabric that we had talked about in this jacket line. Don't know if y'all caught it, but the orchestra is fully masked up. The dancers and the models are practicing social distancing, even though they themselves are not wearing masks. Just an interesting thing to note. Great little jumpsuit. Yep. Oh, I love this teal blue dress. Great jacket, embroidered jacket. The green is beautiful. So the first time I watched this, and the male dancers joined in, this is the very beginning of the dance, I was like, oh no, someone's going to attack these models. What happened? It made me think about the Chanel collection or show a few seasons back where they had the comedian dressed as Coco Chanel jump on and try to take over the fashion show. I was like, oh no. And then I realized it was actually the dancers. My beat. But I have to say, oh, and I love this striped vest situation that she was wearing. And I love how the dancers really mingle with the models, in and out, and the models just keep on keeping on. Oh, this pink, that pink fuchsia was just, maybe we can see it when it comes back around. Oh, then we're going to start seeing that they start doing these leather corsets, long corsets. Oh, I love that green ensemble. Love the embroidery. It's beautiful. These beautiful corsets. hair is so high energy. Amazing footwork. Yep, absolutely amazing. So these long dresses with the corsets, I really feel like they give us like a medieval Game of Thrones-esque look, medieval look, which means we're in Italy, we're the home of so many elements of beautiful art from that time. So I love how they really channel that. I also love these long skirts. I mean, you can see I'm feeling the theme with a nice long skirt today, but just very wearable pieces. A lot of these flats you could get so much use out of. Just things that you could wear every day. You don't necessarily have to be going to a gala to enjoy it. That was a perfect example of her being in the center of this dance circle with the dancers going around her. You can really see this idea of her dancing erratically, trying to get rid of those evil spirits. Love this black and white section. Oh, one of my favorite, off the shoulder with a little peeking through. One of my favorite looks. It's just so pretty. It's a nice change to the feeling of it. Poor dancers are soaking in sweat, which they have been very athletic. Now we're going into a beautiful white section. So many of these looks I would definitely wear on vacations. Oh. What do y'all think about the fringing at the bottom? Would this be something that you would wear every day, or is it just good for the runway? Oh, and now we're getting in some really pretty dresses. I'm guessing she's succumbed to the venom of the tarantula. Oh, this pink, again, probably one of my favorite. It's kind of a Grecian feel to it. We have some great shots of the architecture of the town. I love how the lighting, the background adds to it. It doesn't take away. Oh, she looks like a princess. Oh, and now you're really getting to see another great shot of the emphasis of this lighting backdrop. We're getting a great angle of all of the models shown in this collection. What a fabulous mob. Fashion mob, I guess we should say it is. Guys, remember, there's not an audience. The videography, us, the live audience, I guess, behind the screen is the audience. So they're not going to do the general walking around. Now we're just getting to enjoy them, all the different angles. See some great shots of the bags. Oh, there she is. That's Maria, the short blonde hair lady. That was Maria Grazia, the creative director. Oh, and now we're off now. Just beautiful fabrics, really, in this collection. Natural makeup, natural hair. Just really pretty, wearable pieces. Okay, well, we're going to stop it there. Before we run out of time together, let's talk about some of the things that we saw. We saw them highlight the architecture of the town. We saw them, those beautiful fabrics. I'll have some close-up stills of the pieces. We saw the dance. We saw music. I loved the head wraps that they had. Very natural makeup. Very wearable pieces. You know, you could get a few of the pieces and really mix and match them with some of your other everyday wear pieces. I love how they've redesigned a lot of the classic Dior bags that we've come to know and love, like the saddle bag, the book tote. They really reinvented them for this particular collection. Now, as we do a lot of these different collections and their review, you will notice that in the haute couture collections, they do very minimal accessories. They really want the customer to be able to see and appreciate the clothes as they come down the runway. Where this is ready to wear, so it'll be ready to go and you can just pick it up from the boutique. They want to show and highlight the accessories as well. So, what did you guys think? As compared to some of the other Dior shows and looks that we've looked at, do you feel that she continues the Dior legacy? be sure to comment down below what you think and what some of your favorite pieces from the collection were. But I think that's going to be it for today. I thought that this was a beautiful collection. It was really well casted. It highlighted different people from walks of life, which I thought was really wonderful, especially we had talked about that in the previous video. So I'll put a link to all the previous Dior review that I did to my website, where you can take a look at all of my places that I got my information from. And follow us on social media. And like I said, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can keep up with the next video is gonna drop. I hope you all have a great day and a great rest of your week. Bye now.